Hey guys, if you're not watching the channel right now, a lot of things going on with this camper here. We're actually back from Mega Week, as you guys would know if you're following Mega Week, and we have a little extra something here. I don't know if you guys remember this or not. This was my friend Brady. He passed away, and his wife has given us this car to do with as we please because she knows Brady would have liked to seen that. It is a T-Bucket. It's got a 2-liter Pinto engine with a 4-barrel and a cam and a header. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do with this. We've got some ideas, but what we're going to do today is, if you guys know me, everything I have has LED lights in it, and it's for a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons is the current draw. And you know, we do drag and drive events, and current draw total, anything you can take a load off of the charging system, the better off you're going to be, because you know that the fans take a lot of current, the fuel pump takes a lot of current, and believe it or not, the lights take a lot of current. One of our things that we do with our cars is every single car has LED lights in it, and we are going to do the same thing with the camper. Why? Well, the less current draw you have, the longer the battery lasts, and you can have your lights on and not drain the battery for a lot longer period of time. How much longer? It varies, but you can guess that an LED light will take 1/5 to 1/8 of the current a lot of the times as an incandescent. So what we're going to do is we are going to change all the lights in the camper to LED. That includes the headlights. We are going to do some measuring to show you guys that change in current draw based on incandescent versus LED. And we're going to do some tests and share that with you. So stick around and let's have a little bit of fun. So what I've done is to try and be a little scientific about this. Set something up in the garage here to kind of be able to show you guys what's going on. So I've got some old LED headlights and incandescents here. I've got a power supply, 2 new taillights for the camper. I've got believe it or not, I don't know how long this has been in my cabinet, a regular incandescent high beam. A couple different bulbs that are halogen for this replacement lamp. So this is a glass lamp that we can replace the sealed beams with. And what I've got is the OXILAM LEDs that we ordered. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little scientific stuff here to show you guys current draw and maybe brightness. And then we'll set up the bulbs and have them on the wall so you can see the actual difference, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. We were talking earlier, every vehicle we have for drag and drive stuff is LED. In fact, all of the lights in my house are LED, every single one of them. Why? Because LEDs last longer, they're not susceptible to vibration like an incandescent bulb with that really fine tungsten filament, and they take a lot less current. Saves me my electric bill. So the main deal with the drag and drive stuff is getting the current load on the alternators down, because you've got fans, electric water pumps, and fuel pumps that draw a lot of current. Now most of the alternators that you can get for your stuff is like 55 or 65 amps without going crazy. And when you're sucking up, you know, 5 amps per headlight bulb and 2.5 amps per taillight bulb, your ceiling gets pretty low then for leftover current capability. What I want to do is kind of want to show you, do a little quick unboxing for the LEDs that we've got. We are now a sponsored page by OXILAM, which is great because I love their stuff. It just works out perfect for us. There will be a discount code at the end that'll save you 20%. That if you buy them directly from OXILAM. These are not cheap junk LEDs. These are high quality LEDs. I'm gonna do a quick unboxing here and kind of show you what they're made from. So the first ones I'm going to take is this 1156 bulb that is an amber. It's a turn signal bulb, and I want to show you guys that. So nice boxing material. These are CAN bus capable, which means they do draw a little bit more current than a regular LED, but they don't cause a CAN bus error in your modern equipment. So this here, you can't feel it, but this is an aluminum case heatsink. This is really high quality stuff. If I grab like an old one from a few years ago, you can see the difference. This is not OXILAM, this is some Amazon junk. This is high quality stuff, and I kind of want to show you real quick. We'll go through this afterwards, but nice quality aluminum case for a heatsink, lens on the end. This is amber. So I want to show you that one. I want to show you this one here, which is the 1157 amber turn. Again, these are packaged in static dissipative bags so that they won't be damaged. I only show one in here because I've already put the other one in the taillight there. Again, aluminum case, pretty substantive. This will soak up the heat from the LEDs, and we'll hook these to a 12-volt source here in a second and show you the current draw difference. These here are a 7440. These are also amber turn signal. These would be like for your more modern stuff. You can kind of see these. Again, complete aluminum case, anodized, so they don't corrode. I mean, this is pretty substantive as far as weight goes. It's not your cheap junk that you usually buy for $3 or $4, but they're not that expensive. And then we have some of the 194 bulbs, which are the ones that slide into a little slot. These were like for marker lights and stuff. You can see nice PCB board with the drivers, the diodes, and we'll hook these up to a power supply and show you the current draw and the brightness on that one also. The coup de grace is the headlights. Everybody says how amazing the headlights are in the truck. The truck headlights are LED. Magnitudes better than an incandescent bulb. Draws like 1/5 the current of the incandescent bulb that would supposed to be in there that it replaces. It's significant savings in current draw. The price, they've been in here forever. This thing's been through heck and back and never had a problem. One of the other parts is, you know, these old cars have some sketchy wiring in them. Now I've got a new harness on this one from the firewall out to the headlights, but the nice part is that since they draw less current, you're less likely to have an issue with burn up wiring. So with these old wire harnesses, if your car is old and has the original wire harness in it, there's some corrosion in it. What happens is where the corrosion is, it will build heat. Heat builds resistance, resistance builds more heat. It's called the snowball effect. What happens then is you melt your wiring harness. So the hotter it gets, the more resistance it gets, the hotter it gets, and it just continues to grow from there. With LED headlights, you don't have that problem. I recommend everyone to run LED headlights. I don't know why they even make incandescent bulbs anymore. The lifespan of an LED is significantly more than an incandescent, where an incandescent can be 140 hours, 150 hours. An LED is 10,000, 30,000. It's pretty significant. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the headlight bulbs. These are the H4 style, which would go into a glass lens like we've got here, and that's this replacement, something you can buy off the internet. I think even Holley makes them. This is not a Holley, but this is a really nice. Hella makes some really nice ones. This is metal and glass. That's what you want to look for. You don't want plastic. You want metal and glass, because it doesn't take long for stones and debris and sand driving down the road to make this lens really bad. So what I've got is H4 bulbs, LED bulbs. We'll do a comparison of current first and brightness outside of the bulb, and then I will set this up in the dark and we will show you the difference side by side of all the bulbs in their correct positions. So this comes with a set of gloves. I'm not sure how necessary that is. That's really necessary when you're using incandescent, because the oil's on your finger. If you put it on the quartz glass of the incandescent, it can make a hot spot and they'll fail prematurely. I'm not sure how necessary these are, but I'm gonna go ahead and use them anyways. It's nice that they send them to you. Other guys will send you nothing, and you have to kind of like just be really careful when you're handling the bulbs. Don't touch the glass. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put these on. We got a product manual that explains everything that you need to know about the bulbs, and this is the units. So H4 bulbs, again, significant weight. There's the standard connector for an H4 style bulb. This would be able to plug in your regular connector with the truck, with the Fairlane, with the Comet, with all our old stuff, with the Winnebago. This plugs right in, plug and play. So I'm gonna do a little comparison now on the current. We're gonna watch the current draw on the power supply. I set the power supply at 13.8. That's about standard for a car that's running. And then we'll compare incandescent to the LED version. Now, the LEDs that are CAN bus error free will have a little more current draw, so that they don't cause the CAN bus error, but they should show a significant savings in current. And when you add up multiple bulbs in the car, multiple headlights, multiple tail lights, brake lights, running lamps, you should see a pretty significant savings in current draw, which equals really a savings in gas, even if you're thinking about that. You're less current draw, less drag on the alternator, trying to keep the battery charged. Not that I'm worried about gas savings in this, but I mean, even that gets about 12.5. The Fairlane on E85, we were happy to get 5.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that test now. So we're gonna go ahead and put the, So we're gonna go ahead and hook up the power supply, and I'm gonna show you the current draw on that. So the first one I'm gonna do, these are all something that I had in my cabinet. This incandescent bulb has been in my cabinet for, I don't know how long. You can kind of see how filthy it is. I'm gonna hook this up to the power supply and show you the high and low beam, and then I'm gonna show you the current on both of those also. So on these, the ground is the center pin. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. The low beam. There's the low beam. So the low beam here, and there is a significant amount of heat. So the reason why LEDs are more efficient is because they don't make a lot of heat. They make more light than heat. If I stare at this, I'm gonna have spots and I won't be able to see what I'm doing. So right now, the current on the low beam of this incandescent bulb is 3.6 amps. This is a 55 watt bulb. So on the high beam, so remember that 3.6 on the high beam, it's just over 5, and there is a significant amount of heat that comes off of this bulb. I mean, there's so much heat that comes off this bulb that I know that I can't set this down on this table because it will melt the banners that are covering this table. So I'm just going to lay this on the cardboard and we'll get the other one. So this is a 9004 bulb. It's a little different than the H4, but this is one that I used to have in my 5-liter Mustang back in the day. It burned up one and I couldn't find a replacement for it at the time, so I just put it in the cabinet. This one kind of shows, you can see it's got kind of an amber bluish tint to it. I believe this is a 55 watt also. It makes for a really attractive headlight color, but I think that this will probably draw about the same amount of current. And it should be, again, it should be the center pin. So the low beam is 3.8, almost 3.8, 3.7. The high beam is 4.7. So the low beam is a little bit more current than the other bulb, but the low beam or the high beam is a little bit less. So there you go, 3.7 and almost 5. So let's do a comparison of the LED bulbs. So these are going in the camper. You guys know the camper. It's been a pretty popular build for us, both internally for us guys using it, and everybody seems to like it. It's kind of a rare sight. The headlights in it were pretty decent, but we really are going to upgrade this, and the big part is having LEDs in the camper will allow us to use the 2 deep cycle batteries for a longer period of time. Because if you imagine, you can cut down the current draw by 1/5. That means you can use the batteries for 5 times longer. That's pretty significant. So we'll hook up this LED here. Again, I'm not going to stare at it because it is blinding. So that's 2.5 for both high beam and low beam. It's about half. It's about half of the current draw. And when we get this in the light bulb case and show you the beam pattern, you'll see the difference. While it draws half the current, the brightness is going to be much better. I'm going to show you the standard 1157 style bulb. That would be this bulb and the LED version. These would be taillight turn signal bulbs. This is kind of standard for all the hot rods and stuff. 2 turns, 2 connections. You can see on the end there. This is apt to break when you drop it. This one is not. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the current draw on this. So if I check the current draw on the 1157 for the running lamp, the running lamp is 0.55, so just over 1/2 amp. On the brake lamp, it is 2.25, so 2.25 amps on the brake bulb. You can kind of see the brightness of it, and it is pretty bright. But wait till you see this LED. So this is the LED brake lamp, and the nice part of this, it's not white, it's red, which just makes you're not wasting light. So if you think about a white bulb going through a red lens, you lose all the rest of the spectrum coming through the lens. It's a filter. If you've got red, you don't lose any of that wavelength. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in and show you guys this bulb. So that's the low beam, and it is 0.1 amps. So we're talking about a significant difference in current draw. The brake lamp, 0.5. So we go from 2.25 to 1/2 amp. So that's pretty significant. 2 brake lamps, you step on the brakes, it's drawing 4.5 amps from your total if you've got a 55 amp alternator, versus, again, 1/2 amp. So you're talking about 1 amp. Instead of 2.5, it's 1. And this stacks up the more bulbs you get in play. Let's look at the regular 1156 style bulb with a single terminal. This one is, very bright. I'm not going to look at this one because it will blind me. But if you can imagine, 1156 should be about what the break is on 1157, so 2 1/4. This is blinding. It's 1.6. Again, this is CAN bus free or CAN bus error free, so you can run it in your modern cars that control all the lights via CAN bus. And this is super nice. I mean, I can't rave more about the quality of this bulb. I want to look at this other one. This is the 7440 style. This is the spade type that you would find in most cars. If I plug that one in, again, I'm not going to look at this one because I will see spots for days. Okay, and it's 2.5 amps, so it is significant, and it's got the big heat sink in it, and it draws a lot of the heat out of the LEDs. That's what makes these last such a long time. So very high quality. Surely recommend over and above the cheap junk that you buy off of that other website. You can imagine. I'll show you the brightness of this, but it's garbage. I've had these for years and years, and we used some in the interior of the truck, and they burned out. So we're going to be updating everything with the OXILAM products. All of our vehicles will be getting that, because the technology from the time that this truck was built 4 years ago to today is significantly different. I want to show you a replacement, the spade type, this one here, which is like the 194 style. You go from something like this to this, and this is I can show you, this is the same style bulb element. The base is different, and we can show you that current draw and the brightness. So not very bright, right? But it still draws 0.16 amps, so 160 milliamps. We take this old 5-6-year-old technology here and show you this. It's very directional, and it's basically just adding a bunch of individual LEDs, no heat sink, in hopes that it will last, and these do not, and that's why I have a couple laying around, is because we took them out after we tried them. But let me put the OXILAM version. So a little bit about the same amount of draw, but significantly brighter than the incandescent. The other part is it's going to last forever. It's going to last longer than we're old. The other part I want to show you is these ones. The old ones used to be directional, so they've taken care of that by using diodes built into the unit, and it doesn't matter which way you put in, they work. That's an issue with LEDs. LEDs are directional, light emitting diode. As you may know, a diode allows current in one direction only. Light emitting diode is current draw only in one direction. You get around this. If you can look at this, it shows there is diodes built into this, other diodes in here, so that it doesn't matter the polarity, they'll just work. So the next thing we're going to do is I want to show you the light patterns, and we're going to have to wait till dark to show you that. I've got the taillights already fitted, so brand new taillights for the Winnebago camper. One is fitted with an 1157 regular bulb, one is fitted with an 1157 LED bulb, and we'll show you the difference between these, and we'll show you the difference between the regular taillights that are on it right now, which barely show anything, versus the new taillights with the LED bulbs. Now remember, I'm going to give you a code for all these. I'll run over all these LEDs and give you a QR code that you can scan. We'll give you the code for the 20% discount if you guys go directly to the OXILAM website and order from there. Great people. I've been working with Zoe if you order directly from them, you get a 20% discount. Just use our discount code. In the camper, not very bright, right? These are incandescents. Now let me show you the new taillight with LED. That's the new taillight. That's the old taillight, side by side. That is the running lamp. That is not the brake lamp. I can show you the brake lamp in just a second. So just kind of proving to you guys, this is not the brake light that I'm showing here side by side. It's unbelievably brighter than the factory stuff. It's a little washed out because of the camera, but I wanted to show you the difference in the brightness. Pretty amazing. The next one I want to show you is the turn signal light. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this one on over here. The running lamps. You can see the difference in the brightness for that too. Pretty darn significant. I mean, that's almost like a fog lamp. I mean, it's lighting everything up. Again, remember, the incandescent draws more current. That dim one draws more current than that bright one. You choose. This is the 55 watt halogen that draws 5 amps. You can kind of see what it looks like on the garage door. Now we're going to switch over to the other lamp. This would be that low beam with that tint to it. It's not really the right beam for this sealed beam. That's why it's got that goofy like pattern on it, but I wanted to show you that. Here's the pattern for the halogen lamp, the 55 watt Napa brand, so it's not a cheap brand. In the all glass and steel adapter housing. You can kind of see it's got a yellow tinge to it, sort of. Not hateful, not awesome though. Here we have the LED in the glass housing. One thing you're not going to get from the camera, this is uncorrected, this is not color changed, this is bright white. One thing you're not going to get is the heat that comes off of this lamp is so minimal. I mean, it's cool to the touch. The other one was hot within 20 seconds. Unbelievable. So wrapping things up, we use LEDs in all of our cars, not only for the savings in current, takes the load off the alternator, they're brighter, and they're vibration, I don't want to say vibration proof, but they're much less likely to have issues with vibration. You think about a car, if you get tire shake, none of our stuff has enough horsepower to make tire shake, but it can make some stuff come apart. We have yet to lose an LED bulb in any of our cars. Over all of our events, drag and drives, street driving, burnouts in the street, all that. So remember, go to OXILAM.com. I'll give you the link. Use bucket list 20 and you'll get 20% off of everything that you buy on there. That's pretty significant. So I want to say thanks again. And there's 7 days in a week. Someday isn't one of them.